Hello everybody, I hope you are having a great weekend, a great week, start to the week whenever you're watching this video. I really do mean that. It's rough out there right now. So, talking about Plug Power, I have been a long-term investor in Plug Power, buying this stuff since it was $2-3. Obviously, this has been a really good stock for me and a lot of you that buy Plug Power. And I just want to make an updated video about where I'm at with Plug Power and how I feel about it and what we could see here in the future. So, obviously, what is the hot thing right now that, our leaders are pushing, our economy is pushing for, even though right now it's in the dumps? It's renewable energy, it's clean energy, and Plug Power is at the frontier of that situation right now. So that is one reason that Plug Power has really jumped here in the past 2 years. Obviously, when we had the switch over into the Biden administration, Plug Power took a huge jump because, actually all EV stocks, renewable stocks did in general. Obviously, we have lost that bull market since then, and now we are in a very bear market. And a lot of things are just trying to stay afloat. And, we'll put Plug Power in that growth stock too. This is a growth stock that is still being built on. So obviously, two big parts with Plug Power here is that they're wrapped up in hydrogen fuel and they are in works to start making EV vehicles, electric vehicles. So the past 6 months have been rocky for Plug Power. And in May, we hit a $13 mark. So, the question is are we going to see Plug Power start to fall apart here more? Here's what I will say. I think there's a general consensus right now over the, every investor, every person in your personal life that invests, every big investors from the small to the top, everybody on YouTube to Warren Buffett. Everybody is predicting and saying that we are going to see some kind of stock market crash. But in that too, we will see huge rebound. So one thing that Plug Power has been doing, obviously they have been coming out with the really good quarterlies. They're coming out with, this is a company that is really building on top of itself going into the next 5 to 10 years for a futuristic renewable company that's really changing their bread and butter day in and day out with what they're trying to do. Especially when you talk about electric vehicles. And the hydrogen fuel status, that is a concept and a thing that is actually working and growing and that you're seeing more and more. My prediction right now with Plug Power, I think we're probably going to see Plug Power drop a little more. I think we could honestly see Plug Power drop to a $10 to a $15 mark here within the next few months. And I say that because I really do think this market is going to take more of a beating here, especially leading up into the November polls here especially when we see the Democrats and the Republicans battle it out here for power. And I think there could be a huge shift in the market if something dramatic happens with that situation. But if you're looking for small-time plays like up and down situation, I really do think Plug Power pretty much the rest of this year, more than likely, unless something dramatic changes with our overall market, this is probably going to be a stock that's going to play around, easily in a $10 to $20 range here. I think the Biden administration has pretty much sold every piece of news and all they can right now on renewable stocks. And a lot of people are not buying into renewable stocks like they were when Biden first came into office and saying, pushing these huge bills, trying to get people on board with that. Not to say renewable stocks are bad to buy. I do think they are the smart way to go. I do think they're obviously going to have a future because they are the future. But for us seeing these, crazy $30, $40, $50, $60 bid prices on Plug Power, that's probably going to slow down a whole lot. Obviously, we have not seen that in quite some time as of late. A $25 rally, that's not crazy, but I would say more or so less to be on the safe side. Plug Power the rest of this year is going to play around a $10 to $20 zone. So you would be safe. So I would say if you could get this anywhere for a $15 to $17 bid price, like I said, $10 looks like it's coming down the pipeline here, but that's really depending on how much worse our market gets here. So friends, when it comes to Plug Power, I am very bullish on Plug Power. I think this is a company that's going to continue to do great. I think their stock is going to continue to rise over time. It's definitely a growth stock. It's definitely a growth stock that's already had a lot of growth. And I think it's got a lot to come. We know that Bloomberg and a lot of these big capital analysts, they are setting their sights at Plug Power around a $40 to $30 zone. That's why I have picked a $10 to $20 zone, more realistic. These guys kind of always shoot high for something that's kind of played around with a lot of volume. And Bloomberg has not been calling a lot of good things lately. So I think they're in a safe zone, but I'm choosing an even safer safe zone to tell you as a friend. I like that $10, $20 zone. I think that's going to be the majority of what we're going to see this year. The safe zone for Plug Power. But then again, I hope I'm terribly wrong, and I hope this thing shoots up to crazy numbers and stays there, sustains them. So friends, with all that said, I love Plug Power, very bullish on this. I think this is definitely something you need to look at, consider it to having in your portfolio for the future. This is definitely a renewable energy company. This is a company that is involved in clean energy, and this is one that pretty much, whether it's Republican or Democrat, they're all going to be trying to sell you on clean energy companies, and Plug Power is going to be wrapped up right in that conversation. So friends, with all that said, remember, be positive, be you, take time to invest in that future of yours. Friends, I will talk to you soon. Bye everyone.